sitting on my head and crushing it. Oh. I knew from the trailers this wasn't going to be a pleasant movie-going experience. I thought I had mentally prepared myself for this, but lo, I did not. I could not prepare myself for the sheer level of unpleasantness that this movie unloaded upon me. This is, oh my god, this has got to be just the most. This is so. I often say I need to get a thesaurus because I just keep repeating the same words over and over again. But this movie is just ugly and unpleasant from the opening scene to the very last scene. And here's the weird kicker of the whole thing is you can't say really that it's necessarily a bad movie because it's pretty clear that the ugliness is the point. So I'm in a weird position where I can't say that this is a bad movie in that, it directorially, acting wise, it doesn't have the blind incompetence of Forever My Girl or the overblown machismo of Den of Thieves, but it is thoroughly unenjoyable and thoroughly unpleasant to sit through. It is not a good idea or not a good sign when all through the movie you are just praying for the end so that you can leave the theater, just so you can escape the endless, unrelenting parade of terrible things. Okay, let's try to get through this. Okay, so if you haven't heard of this one, so Christian Bale plays an army sergeant who's kind of a bastard. He's a bastard. There's no way to put it nicely. Who is charged. His last mission for the U.S. Army is to transport this Native American chief and his family, who have been in prison for like 7 years for some vague reason, which I'm not sure of. Maybe I'm supposed to know, but I don't. But he's supposed to escort them from New Mexico to Montana, which Christian Bale doesn't want to do because he hates the guy. He hates the chief because he butchered all these people. Never mind that Christian Bale's character, has butchered all these natives. That's okay. But, the native butchering, the white soldiers butchering Christian Bale's friend, well, that guy is a bastard. That guy, 2 minutes into the journey, they meet Rosamund Pike's character, whose family was brutally murdered by, I think, Apaches. If I'm saying the wrong tribe, I apologize. Let me adjust this for a second. There, now I can get Chewie in the shot. And so she teams up with them, and they keep riding and just meeting a daisy chain of horrible things that happen to them along the way. I'm not kidding. It is like just one awful thing after another, after another, after another, after another. And it's like, even towards the end, there are some like lighter moments, but those lighter moments are severely undercut because whenever there are, and I say lighter not as in comedic, but as in, moments that aren't filled with horrible nastiness and racism and hatred and death and all this other shit. But you can't enjoy those quiet moments because you just know the next terrible thing is coming, and damned if it doesn't. So on the surface of it, even like the film is shot obviously probably through New Mexico and Montana, and there's some beautiful scenery, but somehow even the scenery is ugly and unwelcoming and terrible. It's, oh my god. Anyway, on the surface of it, the film is very well made. It's well directed. Christian Bale is, a good actor, and so is Rosamund Pike, and yeah. But even that, I don't think either one of them's on their game here. Christian Bale is. He barely gets any lines, and all of his scenes are him. That's it. Rosamund Pike, again, who is a great actor, and I really enjoy most of her work. But here, she's like, she's playing these very heavy emotions and playing them so big that it's almost comical. She does this thing a couple times at the beginning when they have to show, of course, her husband and children all getting slaughtered. They have to show it, and she does this thing where she grabs around and she twists her mouth all the way over, and show her grief and whatnot. And like I say, I don't know honestly if it's her performance or if it's, again, because the film is so tense and you're so twisted up and not watching it that you're just looking for any reason to laugh, because that's a possibility. I get what this movie's trying to do. I get the message and all that it is trying very, very hard to convey, and I applaud it for that. But the problem is that there is absolutely no character development or character interaction. There's nothing to hold on to. They keep adding new soldiers as they stop in various places, but they're just there to get killed. So even the couple soldiers who we're supposed to know and supposed to have a connection with, we don't. They don't have that many scenes or that many lines or that many conversations with each other. So you can't get emotionally invested in who they are, or when something happens to them, them being lost. You can't connect to it. You just can't. And I honestly believe that even if I could, the movie is just so grim and awful, that I think I'd be just numb to it. Maybe I'm just numb to it. Fuck me. Yeah, so I want to say there's good acting in it, but I don't really think there is. I want to say there's good writing in it, but I don't really think there is. To its credit, now I must give it this point. Because I was expecting this, and they didn't do it, and I'm really happy about that. There's a scene, horrible mishap number 573. There's a scene where Rosamund Pike and the two Native American women are kidnapped by, I guess, fur traders or something. And Christian Bale and a couple of the soldiers and the chief he's transporting have to go get them. And it's implied when they find them that they've been raped. Their clothes are torn and whatnot. They never actually say it, and to the film's credit, you don't see it. Because if any film was going to put a brutal, horrible rape scene on camera and make you sit there and endure it, it would have been this movie. But they didn't. So in that one area, they showed some restraint, and I am grateful for that, because I think that would have been the breaking point. And oh my God, and the walking, the incessant walking. The fucking Lord of the Rings movies didn't have this much goddamn walking. Oh, Maron. And again, I get what they're going for. I get what they were trying to go for, with these two people, a native and a white man who hated each other, and they hated each other for the exact same reasons. And through this journey and all these hardships, they learned to forgive, and they learn to respect each other, and that is kind of what happens. But again, the journey doesn't feel like it's meant anything, because we don't know these people. I'm not sure who the director is, but it's clear they're kind of trying to do a Christopher Nolan thing and be more about the visuals than about, the characters, and that doesn't work for me. I need character interaction. I want dialogue. I want, dialogue that isn't just raspy voiced, vaguely Shakespearean in its cheesiness. And there are some great visuals in this. I mean, if you play it on silent and whatnot, the movie already is kind of played on silent. It's a beautiful looking movie in its horribleness. If that makes any sense. But yeah, I don't connect with these people. Every time someone died, including big characters, it didn't connect because there's nothing there. And God, the ugliness, just the downright ugliness of the whole fucking film. And again, I get that that's its point, to show you the ugliness of these times and the ugliness these people had inside them, and the racism and the bigotry and the whatnot and what have you. And that was another weird thing. So obviously this film has Native Americans in it. And in this movie, they call them all these terrible things like Reds and Savages. But then sometimes they call them natives. Was that a term they used back then? Because I don't think they would have acknowledged that they were native to the place. I think they, the white folk back then just thought the Native Americans were the interlopers. So I don't know, that was weird. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't even know what to grade this one, because again, well made. I think it had good intentions, but I think it wears you down. It wears you down, and it wears you down so early on that it's by the midway point, you are just spent from all of the terrible, terrible things. Visually, vocally, everything. It is a slog to get through. It is an unpleasant experience. And, I'm all for a movie trying to teach us things, and a movie making us uncomfortable, and a movie, doing things like that. But you know what? I also believe there is a limit. You've got to balance that shit. And this film just wants to punch you in the face, and then once you're down, just keep going. And it does. And it makes the movie-going experience just awful. By the end, you're just begging, no, Christian Bale, leave hope and joy for us, please. Okay, I guess I should do this. So final grade for for Hostels, which, if nothing else, it's the most aptly named film I've seen in a long time. I mean, it is Hostile. You gotta give it that. It's not lying. He had no false advertising. Anyway, I gotta say, I'm going to say a final grade for this one. I'm going to say a C. Just because, again, I think it's well made, and I think it has the best of intentions and all that, but, you know, a movie-going experience should not be this ungodly horrible to have to go through. Like I said, when you're sitting there begging for the movie to end just so you don't have to endure any more, you know, I think that's a bit much. So, yeah, all I can say is I can't wait for Black Panther. Because not only do I miss seeing good movies, I miss having fun at the movies. Now I feel like I need to go watch Philadelphia to cheer myself up. Oh, son of a bitch. So yeah. That's Hostels. Again, I hate to say it because there's nothing inherently wrong with the film, but I can't sit here and say, yeah, go see it, go check it out. I mean, if you're a masochist, yeah. If you hate yourself and you feel like you need to punish yourself for your sins, then by all means, go check this one out. But, you know, if not, if you actually like life, if you can actually enjoy a sunset, if, you know, you enjoy the sound of birds singing and children's smiles, then for God's sakes, avoid this film at all costs. Because it's just... The fucking movie I saw last year, or 2 years ago, Denial, about the goddamn concentration camps wasn't this fucking bleak. So, that should give you a clue. Avoid it, is all, if you enjoy your emotional well-being. So that's all for me. Here, I'm going to go cry for about an hour after seeing this movie. So we got one more week of crap to go through. There's only one movie coming out next week, and it's not a good one. We can tell that just right away. But we'll get through it. We'll earn that Black Panther, folks. We'll earn it. So until next time, for Chewy and Mr. Chirpy, drive safe, and I will see you at the movies.